It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
People love chips and salsa.
What is up, everybody? Zeke Rodriguez here with the Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico, once again. Hanging out with, as always, the host.
Alice Lara here, walking and rocking today.
Walking and rocking. Mm-hmm. And we have yet to bring chips and salsa to the show.
I know. That's what this hole right here that we have.
Yeah, we'll put a whole tray of chips and salsa one of these days.
Imaginary chips and salsa.
Right?
This show is so hot, we don't really need the actual chips and salsa.
Yeah, we're too hot.
Because we are.
We're too hot.
The chips and salsa. Right? Right on.
That can go so many ways. So, look, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be here in front of you guys, sharing our message, sharing our truth, and just spreading knowledge so we can help the freaking community, because there ain't no one else doing it. There ain't no one else doing it, you know, straight up. I mean, who else you got out there? Ronchetti? You know, that guy's like Republican light, Republican zero, really. You know, I mean, seriously, it's like there's so much stuff going on. I haven't heard him say anything that's intangible. It's just like basic Fox News talking points. We bring it here. We bring it to you here. You know, we tell you what's up. We tell you the stuff that the national guys are talking about, and we take it a step beyond. We put our own spin on it with the locale flavor as well. So for me, it's a very big honor to be here and share this with you guys. And Alice, I've got to let them know. What's going on?
We have kind of a really big announcement today, and we'll give it to him in just a moment. But what I want to say about, I don't listen to the Ronchettis. It's no doubt about it or something. And bless their hearts, I'll give them points for trying. At least they're trying to bring some New Mexico news. I do give them points.
Calm me down.
But what we have that they don't have is, on fire millennial here. Because the dynamic is boomer and millennials. And we're trying to reach everything. Our production people here, the owners of Oregon Mountain Studios, Joey and Haley Garcia, I was talking to them about this before the show. We really need to reach all the age groups. So
it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge, but I think
the
contrast with your generation and my generation is beautiful, because I think the millennial generation, we're getting into our 30s, late 20s, early 30s. I think the oldest millennial is probably 28 at this point. Yeah, 28 in their late 20s, and that's about when you're getting into the workforce pretty heavily. That's about when you got a family. That's when about you start caring about politics. It's super rare to find a Gen Zer that cares about politics. I mean, maybe more so these days because everything's falling apart. But by and large, guys, what the hell were you doing when you were 19, 20, 21? I didn't give a shit about politics when I was that age. Nothing.
And then, it's typical. I mean, I have my own little stories too. But, that's kind of our thing. But without further ado, I'm going to toss it to you, Mr. Zeke the Zekeinator.
Toss it on
because,
over.
We've got some things to talk about for our audience.
Yeah. Got some house cleaning to address now. So look, guys, like I said, I'm honored to be here sharing this with you guys. It's just this is something I love to do. I was born to talk in front of large amounts of people, and to just have, close relationships with good friends and stuff. And I have gotten an amazing opportunity, and there's two people in this world, right? There's people who serve others, and there's people who serve themselves. And I'm honored, and I will die as someone who serves others. And I got an opportunity to serve humanity at a much higher level. And it's, honestly, it's something I've been praying about. And I'm going to take this opportunity because I'd be a fool if I didn't, because this is going to be like basically what we're doing could be put on steroids times 100 if things work out. So I'm a big risk taker. I'm going to throw the dice to take this risk at the expense of leaving my good friend Alice and this amazing show. And the views have been going up, the subscribes have been going up. Joey Cypher and Haley have been amazing support in the back staff. With this amazing studio, it's just been paying off big time. All the work that we've been doing and all the support you guys have been showing, it shows in the numbers, and I'm very grateful for that. But for now, I got to go away for a while. I got to take this opportunity. Can't really say where I'm going. I think it's better that way. I'd rather people not know where I'm going or what I'm really doing.
Sounds like you're going to be a super spy.
A super spy, you can say that.
But he's not working for the FBI. We can say
or the
that.
CIA. Neither one of them. But it's a cool opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity, and I'll be going away for a while. And Alice has been doing this for a long time. She's pro. She knows how to book guests. She can do this whole puppy all on her own. We have some other potential co-hosts coming up as well. But for now, I am saying goodbye. This is my last show for today. For now, I'll be around, but this is my last show.
We might hook you in every once in a while to say hi.
Yeah, I'll try to pop in.
Put you on the
there.
screen or something.
Yeah, throw me on the screen. We'll see what's going on. You know, I would be more than honored to come back when I can, but for now I got to focus. There's a lot of work to be done. It's pretty intense what I'm doing. It's a whole other world, but definitely God's calling me towards that for sure. So it's, you know, it's like a little warp tunnel. It's a little you know, portal I'm going through right now, and I'm gonna end up on a whole other world. But you know what? I don't forget where I came from, and I came from you guys. I'm from you guys. I used to be someone that just watched politics, got involved with local politics, just like Alice, did everything I could to give back, and now it's time for me to go for a little bit. Other than that, thank you guys again. You guys are amazing. All the support, it's just amazing opportunity, especially with the election coming up. Alice is gonna be so key coming up here.
Well, and we also need to let the audience know, you do a lot of social media, so you're probably taking a little bit of break from all that too. You were doing little separate shows and stuff like that because you're going to be intensely busy.
Crazy. You guys will see eventually what I'm into, what I'll be doing, and you'll understand why I did what I did. But for now, it's just good to just keep it under wraps. I'm not going to let anybody know exactly what's going on, but you'll see. It's going to be a spectacle. It's going to be huge, you know. But yeah, I'm taking a break from my personal podcast. For those who were watching, I had my last show this morning. It was a great show. And for those of you who watched this, who watched that as well, thank you guys so much for your support and love. I mean, it's just, I don't know anyone else in the state that was doing a live broadcast like that every Monday morning that was getting all the love that I was getting. I don't know anyone else, and I'm not trying to brag. That just speaks to you guys and how my message resonates with you guys so much, and how we're all on the same page and we're all here for each other. So you just keep doing what you're doing, you know, stick together, gravitate towards guys like yourselves, like me, and things are going to work out.
Well, and, you know, of course, I'm going to miss you big time. When I first met you, that's over a year ago, you were running for office. I thought, man, this is exactly, and you know, my friend Vicky, you know Vicky, she came to me when I first got back in town, and she said, you need to start a Chips and Salsa show here in New Mexico, Alice. And then when I met Zeke, it's like, oh, this dude's a natural, because very smart, sharp, never at a loss for conversation, quick mind, much quicker than mine.
You're making me blush. You're making me blush.
So it's just been awesome. It's been great. And this is not really a goodbye, I think. I think it's kind of like we're going to be doing this for a while, and every once in a while, you know.
Yeah.
We got to let you get established, though, and do your thing.
And everything else is going to be there on YouTube and on Instagram. All that's still going. You know, Alice is still going to be pushing hard and getting candidates in here and getting guests in here, spreading the word. I'll be supporting as well. But yeah, this is it. This is it for me right now. Thank you guys again. With that being said, we'll do a little prayer at the end, and we'll do another last little thank you. But let's go over some national politics, Alice.
Great, sounds wonderful. Well, there's so much that went on. I was trying to make notes this weekend.
There was a lot
actually.
that happened, yeah.
Oh, by the way, I want to start out though with. Did you happen to catch any of Trump's speech? His last rally that he did. I think it was in Georgia.
No, I didn't.
Okay, you know, I was a little bit worried because a rally before I was watching him, and he looked a little tired, which he never does. He always looks like he's just stepped out of the shower and he's ready to rock and roll. But this weekend, he was back to his old self. I mean, he just looks pumped, quick mind, and just, you know, I love that about him. He's on fire. He really is. But lots of stuff. And then, of course, the big thing was we had the State of the Union, which, let me remind our audience, our State of the Union typically happens when? January? Yeah. Right? And it should be a State of the Union. It's in the Constitution, I believe. You have to give kind of a report of what's happening in the states. Oh, there's a really good, and I think I did post it, Mark Levin put on there, and he kind of hit all the points about what Biden presented. But there's so many things that Biden did. He boo-booed, for one, and he used the word illegal, oh my God, and he was more concerned about that than, what did he call, instead of Lakin, he called her Lincoln Riley, who was killed at the hands of an illegal alien. And it's just amazing. You can't make this stuff up. And then also in the State of the Union, the father of a Marine who had been killed, I think, in Afghanistan, he got up and he was, I'll go ahead and say a disturbance, because if you just watch it, that's what it looks like. And they took him out of there, and okay, but they arrested him. Yeah. They have the gall. I mean, every time you see things like this, I'm like, man, where am I? In a third world country? What the heck's going on? And then the other quickie that I'm going to end with, and I know I sent you this and you saw it, and I was telling Joey and Haley about it, is one of my favorites, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And the reporter was just pressing her and say, you right, people on the right, or, you know, conspiracy theories. And Marjorie Taylor Greene basically said, you guys are the one talking about conspiracy theories. And then she wasn't quiet. She said to go and use the F word. And usually I don't think that's a cool thing to do. But, man, sometimes it's just kind of warranted, don't you think?
No, I think she did a great job. I've seen that one before, but, she handled that really well because it's like the newscaster was placating her at first, kind of like baiting her into it. And then she hit her with the Jewish lasers. And, Marjorie Taylor Greene she's just a savage, She just told her,
it's very Trump-like.
Get the F out of here. Why don't she said, get the F out of here.
She said, F off. Why don't you F off?
Yeah, F off, yeah. It's great. And she deserves it. The news, what kind of a person is that knows? So look, actually that goes into my main point I was going to say, because you're talking about how they're arresting people and how, Biden's speech was so bad, guys. It's like, here's the positive thing out of it.
It's embarrassing. I am embarrassed as an American.
It's embarrassing, but the whole world should be worried. Everybody should, because if this guy who can't even talk, who makes no sense, who literally incoherently babbles regularly, is leading what was once the most powerful country in the world, that's the guy. That's the guy. And if you're smart enough to understand that that's a problem, and that's like, it's a big problem, right, to us, but there are people out there who don't see a problem with that.
Right.
They don't think there's an issue with this guy, urinating on himself on stage. That's what the CIA said. They said that this guy's always pooping himself, peeing himself, constantly have to change his diapers in the White House. And I'm not trying to make fun of senile people. Look, it's elderly abuse to get this guy on stage. And we have a problem with it because we want someone that's confident, that's strong, like Trump. But we got this guy, and at least we're not part of those crazy people who think this is okay. We should be very grateful. Because at the end of the day, it's always a very few amount of us that rise up in these revolutions. It's always like 15% of us or less. All right, so we should be honored and thank God that we're part of that 15% that is willing to do what it takes to fight for freedom. Because there's a whole lot of other people they're not even in this reality. Imagine that. Imagine supporting Biden right now.
And I'm glad you mentioned the term reality. Because if you watch a clip, and again, this is a show I don't watch, but it pops up and somebody's reacting to it. The View, the women on The View.
Oh, Lord.
This guy is perfection. He is a strong president, has done
No
so
way.
many things right. And I'm thinking,
No way.
what universe are you in? Well, and a lot of what people were saying, and even people on the left and reporters were talking about, well, evidently, he was on, they had him drugged up. They had him on a lot of, somebody said they had him on a lot of Adderall or something. And, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, it's just the
What's
lies.
your medical diagnosis, Dr. Rodriguez?
Well, if this was the 80s, you can accuse him of doing blow and doing a line before he gets out there. I don't know about Adderall.
Oh my gosh.
But that's just, whatever. The main thing is that the way that these people are lying now, the way that they're gaslighting us, it's on another level. Because back in the day, not too much long ago, we'd always be like, chuckle, they're crazy lying. But these lies are so bold, it's bewildering. It's flabbergasting. Like, are we even in? It does make you question reality because they're the things that they say are so far from what we actually perceive. It's just hard to even imagine someone to be that delusioned, or they do it on purpose. I don't know what's going on. It's scary how bad they lie to our faces now. And Biden lied to us during his speech too. He said, well, of course we've seen the video a million times where he says, we're going to open that border up as soon as I get in. Come on in. And then on that speech, he's like, no, I didn't. I never said that.
And their lies, they can be backed up. We have video. People have done videos just on his past history and things that he said. And then you can always say, okay, well, that was in the past, so now he's changed his mind and everything. It's still relevant history and things. And just, it really bothers me that we've forgotten how to think. You know what else scares me, though, too, is AI. Because now with AI, you can do so much. You can do so many things.
It's perfect in a lot of ways.
It freaks me out.
Oh, yeah.
It really
I've been
does.
seeing a lot lately, actually, with Trump doing crazy, occult stuff. They got Trump's face and, doing, crazy, Freemason stuff. It's obvious.
It looks so real.
It looks so real. And it's like, man, you got to be careful. And I think they actually have the technology to make it basically real. And apparently they do. They just haven't quite released it yet. But apparently they're going to release it here by the end of the year with the election coming up.
And how do you do that? I'm the old baby boomer. And I see stuff I was posting something on Facebook. I think I told you about this already. And it said, "Oh, would you like help with your posts with AI or something? Would you like AI to help you construct?" I'm like, "No, what the heck? Why are you coming up? Why are you doing this? It freaks me out."
Well, AI is already there. It's there in a huge way. They're monitoring everything that we're doing, guys. I'm telling you right now, every website that you've been to, everything that you've clicked on, everything that you search for is bought and paid for, and they have it in some server somewhere. So whatever you're doing online, be very, very careful. All right, I'll tell you that right now. I've been looking into that recently, and it's cool as a tool, but you know, if you really think about it, it's like, damn, you know, we got to think about having like another internet or something, because they have full control of us there, you know, and like they've done. I saw some article recently where they were doing like test runs of shutting down all the government institution websites. Like FEMA site went down, the White House website went down. They're doing something. They're getting ready for something big. And then plus, That's another topic. We got 20 million people coming over this border here now. You know, military-age Chinese, man. Violent crime with these people all day. Fentanyl. The fentanyl's getting worse, right, guys? I mean, the videos I've seen recently, it's like they're getting. It's like worse than it was a year ago. Like they're literally dying in the street now. And
it's not always just like, you know, somebody who abuses drugs. It's not. It's sometimes someone's by accident or something. The drug has fentanyl in it.
Well, you know,
cases like that.
Yeah. There's that, and then I actually just posted a video on the Chips and Salsa Instagram, and it was Trump debating Hillary Clinton back in 2015, and basically he's calling her and Barack Obama out for just unleashing ungodly amounts of heroin in the streets, and how it's destroying the youth and destroying the population, and how she didn't have a policy to close the border. She didn't have a policy. So when Trump got in, he stymied their plan by 4 years. You know, at least, because as soon as Biden got in, they executed that plan. But the drugs are a problem. But even more of a problem is people who think that Biden's a good guy. They should vote for him over anyone else. That's the bigger problem, in my opinion.
And that's kind of, you know, what we do here. We want to give you information, legitimate information, so you can do that. And I want to recommend our friend Jeffrey Prather. He does the Prather Point. Used to be based in Arizona. Now I think he's in Oklahoma now. But he just recently did a podcast, and he's interviewing Oscar El Blue. Do you guys follow Oscar El Blue at all?
No. I don't know who the hell that is.
Just quickly, I'll tell you, I found out about this guy a few years ago. And Oscar is a Mexican national, and I think he lives in Tijuana. Speaks beautiful English and Spanish. He's a journalist, reporter, and he's been following the immigration movement, and he goes all the way down to the interior of Mexico. I mean, he knows so much stuff. But this latest podcast, I think it came out a few days ago, it is really telling. He talks a lot about everything that's happening and the cartels. I mean, sometimes I get, does this ever happen to you? Probably not. Maybe because you're a guy. But sometimes I'm listening to stuff like this and I'm thinking, okay, everybody knows, kind of like you said, everybody can tell what you're doing. You know, maybe I shouldn't be listening to this on my phone. Maybe I should go somewhere. It's weird. Wow. And I don't want to be freaked out like that, because this is America and you shouldn't be afraid to do stuff. But the things that they're talking about, and he's a really good source because he's been doing it so long. And Jeff Prather, he's been a good source of intel. I followed him from back when I was in Arizona. And I think I've told you that at first when I listened to him, I'm like, that's pretty far out there. Come on. Nope. In a few weeks, boom, whatever he'd say, he had great intel. It would happen. It happened. He's like, you know, about 95% accuracy. Once in a while, he gets bad intel or something, but he'll say that. He'll tell you, but very, very reliable. But just want to recommend that podcast for everybody.
No, yeah, that's a good one. And you know, cue the space alien conspiracy music soundbite, Joey, because you know. I listen to Greg Reese. He's a big timer on Band.video, big timer with Alex Jones. He's his own separate journalist. So
what's the guy's name?
Greg Reese.
Greg Reese.
He's awesome. He puts out the most amazing videos, and it's always truth based. It's always factual. And he recently put out this one I love. I'm glad I'm talking about this. Talking topic on the last show. This is the topic.
Get it all out, Zeke. Come on.
It's powerful stuff. I mean, so like you guys remember 2012. You know, everybody thought everything was going to freaking blow up and all that, right? You know, the Mayans and, you know, Ascension and all that. This pretty spiritual stuff came about. But what I learned in that was the Book of Ra. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. But the Book of Ra. Basically, some people in like the 60s and 70s got together. A pool of highly intelligent people became their channelers. They would channel in a spirit, and it was Ra. And he would talk about how every 25,000 years, the souls are harvested from this planet. And you have to live in tune with morality, with God, to get ascended through the sun and get to the next dimension. Those who don't are going to stay here in this third dimension and basically try again. And so Greg Reese put out a video recently where he talks about that. He talks about how there's a world-known group that channels. It's called remote viewing. There's a
okay.
world-renowned group that does
Art
remote
Bell
viewing.
used to talk about that, if you know who Art Bell is. From my generation.
Yeah, this is some deep stuff. I'm sure Joe has heard about remote viewing. So like they gave him 2 numbers and they did their reviewing and they came back and they saw the rapture. They said they saw the second coming of Jesus, or what they said was rapture, where people who were living in tune with God were going up into the sun and ascending, and the ones who didn't weren't going. And then they also found that they saw a brain chip in people's heads, and they were using that to control what they ate and what they bought.
Wow.
And it's just like, what Elon Musk, you know what I mean? Like, and
The
it's
chip.
hey, and so I would recommend that. Check it out. Greg Reese on Band.video. It was just a crazy, insane 6 minutes, because I studied the book of Raw and I studied the Bible. I'm obviously a Christian man. I do believe in the rapture. And just the fact that they saw that, and they've predicted the future with this stuff, guys. That they predicted exact local points of missing people. I mean, the remote viewing is legit. It's government funded. They spent billions of dollars researching this stuff. And so, hey, I'm just glad I'm close to God. I'm just letting you guys know that it's crazy to hear about all this coming to light now, and it's just becoming mainstream. It's mind blowing.
Wow. Well, one thing too that I'm very proud of, all the shows that we've done, we're not afraid to talk about God.
No.
We're not afraid to talk about God. I'm going to miss you closing out the show with prayer, because it's really important. I think that's a lot of why we're in the mess that we're in, because we've kind of gone in the other direction. Fewer families going to church. Fewer families kind of, paying attention to those kinds of things.
Yeah.
So that's really, really. I've never heard.
Well, God's hot right now. God's trending.
He is trending.
It really is. It's like it's a big movement right now. It's like people, and it's not even to the church. It's like more organic, like what we do just through our own channels. It's like people are really into prayer now. People are really into Jesus and God, and why wouldn't you be? That's where you go when things are like you have nowhere else to go. You have no one else to rely on. There's nothing left but God.
In a spiritual sense, and we didn't even talk about this before the show, but Las Cruces, New Mexico, has lost a really talented doctor.
Man, Dr. Bergson, world-renowned.
World-renowned, Dr. Bergson. And
he changed my life.
Very, very sad when we learned he had left us this last week. I think he was about 84 years old.
That's a good life for a man.
And he did. If you don't know anything about him, I mean, you know about him, and Mark, my husband's done a bunch of research. Talk about saving lives.
He saved my life, straight up. I mean, indirectly, just with his knowledge and what he shared with the world, I was able to save my stomach, my gut health, and I was like, honestly, guys, I was in such misery. I don't want to say I was contemplating suicide, but I was at a point where I just hated life. I've never had suicidal ideation, but when you're in so much excruciating pain that you don't know what to do, you're not even who you thought, you're not even who you are. Because of his research, I was able to get back on my feet and live a good life here, hanging out with you guys right now. So I have a lot of respect and honor for that man.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention it because I know that you could talk more about him. Actually, we didn't get to meet him, my husband and I, but we know his son, Dr. Arthur Bergson, and what a legacy that he left too. Dr. Arthur Bergson's awesome.
Alpha-lipoic acid and glutathione injections, guys, right in the vein. If you take vitamins through your mouth orally, you only uptake like 20% of it because you lose 80% of it in digestion. So Dr. Bergson was one who pioneered the alpha-lipoic acid and glutathione injections, which is what cured me of my ailment, and that's cured. I think it was rare form of cancer. What was it?
I think it was liver cancer.
It was liver cancer and the other one, pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Which, you hear pancreatic cancer, like that's it.
That's it.
You can't survive that. And a lot of these people were told, you're going to die.
You're going to die.
You have 2 months.
And there's a huge spike in pancreatic cancer in young women right now, and little girls.
And little girls.
You can assume what that is, but it's the fact that there's a huge spike of pancreatic cancer with little children right now. So if you know anybody that's dealing with pancreatic cancer, reach out to me, reach out to Alice. We'll get you in touch with Dr. Bergson's work and his affiliates so you can try to help these young girls.
And I'll tell you, within their office, and you know this, they've got a big map, a world map, because people come from all over like you say, world-renowned. You're not kidding.
No joke.
You're not kidding. So rest in peace, and thank you for all the contribution that you gave to this community, to the whole world, actually, to humanity. A true medical hero. And it's sad to see him go.
The medical tyranny is what woke me up. I mean, he was fighting against the system since the 80s, I think. You know, it's like when the doctors come in there and tell you that you need this surgery, you need that surgery, and there's no other way around it. You know, that's control right there. That's power. You know, and that ruin your life for money right there. And that's all backed by a corrupt government that doesn't put any checks and balances on these doctors because the government's essentially funding these insurance companies. So why would they? It's all a pay to play, get paid to the back end kind of a thing. And that's just our Western medical system. You know, like real health and real happiness with respect to your body is preventative medicine and lifestyle. It has really nothing to do with reactive medicine. Reactive medicine is probably the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is live a good, healthy lifestyle and exercise, get outside, get some sunlight, and you'll eliminate like 90% of the issues that you're dealing with in this world today. But the way that they condition these doctors today and the way they train them, it's like give them a pill, give them a pill, give them a pill, give them a pill, give them a surgery, give them a surgery, give them a surgery, give them a surgery, and look where we are. This country is super unhealthy, dude. I mean, the food that we eat, the medical treatment, you name it. We got diabetes coming out the freaking wazoo.
Yeah, and it seems like it's always about treating the symptoms instead of trying to find out what's actually wrong.
Yes, very well put.
And we've been very lucky. My husband and I we still have a relationship with our guy back in Arizona, in Phoenix, Dr. Lashuka. And before that, it was Dr. Keaton that Mark had found. And what a difference. And we refer people because, you know, people try, they go to doctors and they still have a lot of faith in doctors. And I'm not trying to diss doctors. I think that a lot of them do the best they can. There's some great doctors out there too. There really are. And that's why integrative medicine is good because it combines kind of both forces. Yeah. But, you know, make sure if you're not getting results, don't give up. Keep looking and try another opinion. And that's the other thing. It's really bad in New Mexico here. The doctor situation. I don't even have to. Well, that's a whole other show. That's a whole show.
Well, it's like I was saying earlier. There's two different kinds of people in the world. Kinds of people. You know, it's like either you're here to serve others or you're here to serve yourself. Doctors are no different. You know, you're gonna run into some bad doctors that are self-serving. They don't care about you.
But and it's a lack of that I'm speaking of more.
Oh yeah, there's a doctor. Why would you come here as a doctor? You know, the pay is little. There's not really that big of a population here. So why would you get a $200,000, $300,000 check, which is good to most people, but you got to realize these doctors have like $500,000 in freaking medical debt.
Oh yeah.
Whereas you can go to like a big city like Denver or say Houston, and you can bring in $600,000 to $900,000 or more as a doctor. So the doctors that we do get here are the straggler dagglers. You know, for the most part, there's good doctors here. I know them. I've had to seek them out for crying out loud. But there is a lot of doctors who are just like, man, you barely passed that test, didn't you? You barely got in, huh? You know, straight up. But at the same time, too, the laws aren't that favorable to doctors either. The malpractice is so easy to sue a doctor. Medical malpractice
is our problem here.
So even another reason why doctors come here to get paid nothing, and then they come here to get sued real easily. So it's like you're not going to get any doctors. It is what it is. What you want to do is make it harder to sue doctors and also offer reciprocity for these doctors. So if they got a license anywhere else in the country, they can come practice here in New Mexico. That's how you solve the problem right there. Boom, I figured that out when I was running for lieutenant governor. And I got some state legislators listening to me here and there. They're trying to push, but there's just a big push to not do that. But South Dakota did that. South Dakota offered reciprocity in their state, and now they have some of the, you know, if you're a doctor from freaking Florida and you want to make some really good money, fly your ass to South Dakota, get that bank, because that's what they're doing.
And the cool thing too is with today's technology, you can have a Zoom call with your doc. You can keep in touch. You've got the technology to do it, and use all resources. And speaking of state stuff, let's see, anything more national before we switch over?
It'll come to us later. I mean,
that's true. We could do that, right?
Yeah.
Well, before we switch, how about let's promote our favorite magazine, right?
Right.
Favorite magazine coming up. I'm sitting on one right now.
You plug them.
I think the lovely Haley is going to bring us
I'm always doing the
flavors of the desert. You want me to plug?
Yeah, you plug.
This is your last show, though. You do it so well.
All right. I'm agreeable.
I shouldn't say your last one.
Flavors
for a
of the
while.
desert, and I love flavors of the desert. I love this idea. This is something I've always wanted to do in my head. I'm like, man, it'd be great to do it.
You could do it. You're such a foodie, man.
No, I don't need to because they got to do it. They're doing it right now already. They're already doing it. I love to support you guys though.
Guest columnist.
Anything you guys need. I mean, if you guys need food testers or just get some. But look, if you're a restaurant in here, like look at El Vagon Taco Shop. We have no affiliation with these people, but El Vagon Taco Shop, they're in there, killing it. Mr. Madrid, Mr. Madrid's a good lawyer. He's a good lawyer too. I've had really good experience with him. So yeah, this is if you guys want to get an ad, hit them up. You know, if you guys want to feature your food in here, feature them up. So tacos and shell Oz. Huh? Where are these guys at? He's a
right by the Sam's Club. Yeah,
they're always pretty busy, huh?
I've always wanted to go in there. I've never been in there.
Great seafood.
Oh, see,
Good breakfast.
Really?
Is that right?
Seafood breakfast?
Not seafood breakfast, regular
Like a
breakfast they
Mexican
do.
breakfast.
Like a
Oh,
Mexican
chilaquiles.
chorizo and everything.
Oh.
chilaquiles?
Yeah.
Oh my god! If you guys have had chilaquiles, man, that's
Chilaquiles.
poor folk food, right there. It's for real, but it's freaking delicious, and it's hard to get. There's only Mi Pueblito those chilaquiles too, right there in Idaho. So now I know they do them. So there it is, guys. Flavors of the Desert, amazing food review. I just learned a freaking restaurant myself, and I'm consider myself somewhat of a foodie.
There you go. You know all the restaurants.
And
Wow.
I thought I did. So expand your horizons. Get a hold of Flavors of the Desert here at Oregon Mountain Studio. You can follow them. Contact them at everythinglascruces3@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I love seeing the expression of local cuisine. I think that's just fantastic.
Thank you. And kudos also to the producers of the magazine and our sound engineer and wonderful people that help put the show together, Joey and Haley Garza, the Oregon Mountain Productions.
I do have, it's kind of my last show, so I'm going to go a little controversial. I'm going to go really controversial.
Do it, man. Do it.
Well, I just learned this. Stu Peters put this out. You know Stu Peters?
I don't think I know who
He's
that is.
he's kind of all over the place. He's been all over the place, and I follow him on Instagram, and he had, okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. What books were the Nazis burning when they were burning books? This is a crazy question. This is crazy. This blew my freaking mind. I'm not saying I agree or disagree with it, but this is fact reality. I looked it up. Can you think of anything? Can you think? Have you ever sat and thought of the question, what were these guys so pissed off about?
I would guess anything to do with religion. They wanted to get rid
That
of.
was my first inclination.
You would think.
That was my initial thought.
Although, wasn't Hitler, was he Catholic? Now
I don't know.
I'm going back in my
I don't know
brain.
what he was. I know he was intense and on meth most of the time.
Joey and Haley, guesses?
It's a mind blower. You never get. This is kind of a
Okay,
rhetorical
let's
question.
think for just a
Maybe the
moment.
Bible? I don't know.
So, and this is Jewish Ran. We all know he was hating the Jews, right? Which I have nothing against Jews. I don't have anything. I love everybody. I'm a freaking Declaration of Independence. We're all born, and, created equal kind of a guy. But the Jews had what they called sexology libraries that focused on transgenderism.
No, really?
And homosexual tendencies and marriage and relationships and all of that type of research. And they were getting to the point where they were starting to try and normalize pedophilia and grooming children. And that was what put the Nazis over the edge, and they started to burn sexology libraries and books.
The Jews had these books? Really? I've never heard of that. You guys heard of that? No? Okay.
You can look it up. I certainly did. And it is just, it's a mind blower. It's a mind blower because I never sat and thought and asked what they were burning. And then a lot of people that I follow, like people that I trust in the news, they never mentioned that. That's something you figured
I've
you
never
wanna mention.
heard that mentioned ever.
It's there, dude. Take a gander at that.
So
one.
how did you verify that? Where did you?
Just Google. It's all over you can't hide it. That's what
But,
they were
and it was a
burning.
good source? I mean,
You
legitimate?
can't- Yeah, Stu Peters is world renowned. He's not going to say anything. So that's why I was like, I'll look into this. And I looked into it, and that's what it was. And so, I mean, have you guys wondered or pondered that? I didn't. And I don't know. I'll verify again. You got me questioning myself now. But I did. I did the research today. I posted it, and I verified. Stu Peters, I trust that guy. I know that guy. He's been a freedom fighter for many years now. Why would he put his reputation on the line, And he took it a step further. I'm telling you, just a surface level of it, and it goes even deeper than that. Because the ironic thing is that the Nazis and Hitler were socialists. They were basically far right, fascist socialists. They were Marxists essentially. But what we have now today is a lot of the progressives and the Marxist socialists today. They're the ones pushing the LGBT community. So what we have today is basically a culmination and a fusion of what Hitler was supposedly fighting, now working together to go against us here in America, the Declaration of Independence and Freedom. It's just all crazy. I just don't know anything, guys. Like that to me made me feel like I don't know nothing.
You have blown my mind today with that because I had never ever heard of that. Yep.
Sexologist authors.
Sexologist
authors.
Thank you for that, Joey.
Our fact checker,
Fact
Joey.
checker City
thank
back
you.
here. And I couldn't believe it either. I was blown away. I prided myself in someone who I thought knew what the hell was going on. You want to talk about Nazis? Let's talk about Nazis. You want to talk about World War I? Let's talk about World War I. You want to talk about the American Revolution? Let's talk about it. But I never sat and thought about what the hell books they were burning, dude. That is crazy to me. I don't know what to make of it. I still haven't even really had time to digest it because obviously I got a lot going on. But it's deep in that we don't know.
That is a deep dive, man.
It's fake. This world's fake. Everything that we had, everything that we experienced is all controlled. None of it's real. You know, that to me, that's what I feel like. It's like, man, we have yet to be fully unleashed into this world as human beings. Everything that we've been shown and taught has been a complete mirage. And that's okay, because we adapt well. We're very, we have a lot of ingenuity as human beings. And we're going to take this knowledge and information, verify it again. I mean, the guy in the back, you know, fact check this for us.
I'm curious. I'm going to do my own little research as well.
I don't know what it means. I'm just letting you guys know. If you guys want to get your mind blown, check it out. I mean, that's mind blowing.
This is where, like, you know, as older people start to leave this world, there's fewer of them to ask about these kinds of things. And somebody out there can tell, well, yeah, that is true. And that's why you talk about reality. People that don't want to become engaged in what's happening or politics, it's much easier just to stay out of it and do your thing. But you still have to have at least a little sense. Watch, even if you just watch our show every week, that's something you can have a basis in reality. So years from now, when your grandchildren or great nephews and nieces are asking you about stuff, you're like, yeah, I was there. Here's what they're saying, but you know what actually happened? I was there. This is what actually happened.
And be humble, for crying out loud. That humbled the hell out of me. I'm like, yeah, I don't know nothing now. But I mean, I did more research, and like, yeah, the main people that they tortured and they captured first were gay people. People who were publicly gay. They were the ones who did a lot of the medical experiments on, who they tortured, and it's even weirder because Hitler and the Nazis were well-known occultists, and occultism is revolved around that type of stuff too. So what the hell is going on? It's really what makes sense is that some entity, I don't know what, was funding both sides of the war to create the chaos, you know? And that's ultimately what I think it's going to boil down to. There's just like one or two super rich, super powerful people that are like pitting people up against each other, which is basically what we're dealing with today. You know, but back then it was obviously expressed in a different way. I still don't know quite what to make of it. I'm just trying to be reasonable in this stuff because I just learned it too.
I have a friend in fact, he used to teach history, so I'm going to certainly ask him about this.
Dude, history buffs, where you at? Hit us up. Like, fact check me. I don't know. I'm willing to learn. I just thought that was bizarre. Because even more bizarre, this keeps getting crazier. Kanye West was on Alex Jones last year, and he was wearing a Balenciaga mask, and just couldn't even see his face, but he was over there touting how awesome Hitler was. He's, I love Hitler. Kanye West, I love the Nazis. I love Hitler. And Alex Jones is like, bro, you can't be saying that shit. He's just like kind of laughing at him. And everybody's like, dude, Kanye's off the rails. You know, like it really messed up his reputation in a lot of ways. But now with that coming out, it's like, what is going on in this crazy, crazy world that we're living in today, guys? I don't know.
It gets crazier and crazier.
And this barely just started. We're still barely in March.
It's just March.
We just sprang forward.
Man, yeah. And so speaking of that, I want to mention that yesterday, did you go to, I didn't see you at the March for Life. I don't think you made it out there. It was downtown Las Cruces.
No, I didn't get a chance to go.
So I did go, and thank you very much, the Southwest Coalition Life here in Las Cruces. We didn't have as big a crowd as we usually do, and maybe, I don't know why that was, if it was a Sunday or a promotion, but we had a pretty good crowd, and we did our walk and stuff. And there, Ronnie Cisneros was there, who's running for office in the same district that you ran for.
Yeah, he's going to win that district. He's going to win that district.
I really hope so. In fact, next week he's going to be a guest here, so if you're interested, to tell your friends. But it was so wonderful because we had younger people there.
Really?
Yeah, we had younger people there. And it's always encouraging. And a lot of people I recognize, because they're in the circles that go.
Yeah, it's the same people.
And we're kind of at the end of the 40 days, we go pray. My friend and I, my sister-in-law go and we pray in front of the Planned Parenthood. And if you still, I just want to put out a little shout out here in Las Cruces, but it really is nationwide. If you want to go for 40 days for life, just go to the website. You can sign up. There's still plenty of time to volunteer. And what we do, we pray. And in front of these, you don't go right there at their door. You can't do that. You kind of stay at the public sidewalk. You've done stuff like that before. And prayer is very powerful. And just, we have, those big wooden crosses that the Knights of Columbus have created? Yeah. So what we do now is we carry the crosses when we're praying. And what I've noticed this time around...
Yeah, look at you guys, little mini Jesuses, huh?
Well, this is very interesting to me. So this time around, last campaign, we always got some fingers thrown at us. Or like, God loves abortion.
They get nasty.
God loves abortion. What are you doing?
Wow.
And it's this time with our crosses, that hasn't happened one time. I shouldn't say anything.
Really?
Watch this Wednesday. Something's going to happen, right? But yeah.
The power of Christ compels you, demon.
It's really awesome. But I just wanted to put a plug in for them. And thank Mark Cavalier, kind of heads everything. And there were just some great speakers. It was a wonderful event. And if you can, support them however you can, even if it's just with prayer. Do that. Even our candidates and stuff, you can support with prayer. One thing, I want to mention this too. So we still have a homeless issue here.
I ain't going nowhere.
And one of the things that I started doing, because I used to do this in Phoenix, because in Phoenix I had a longer commute, right? Okay, Joey can help you out with this, I'm sure. Wherever you go, it's not, here it's 10, 15 minutes wherever you go. Over there, half hour is short. That's a short time. Oh, it's only a half hour. So when I used to see a homeless person, what I would do is I would say a Hail Mary or just say a prayer for them. So whatever, not all of them are rotten people. I mean, I should say rotten people, or they have issues, drugs. Some of them are criminals. And say a prayer, because you just never know. I believe in the power of prayer. And I didn't want to forget to say that on the show today.
Energy goes where focus. Energy flows where focus goes.
I love that.
That's a good one.
Did you make that up yourself?
No, Isaac Cappy. The late Isaac Cappy. He said that before he was assassinated. Poor guy.
Energy goes.
Energy flows.
Flows.
Where focus goes.
Energy flows where focus goes.
Yeah, if you don't know anything about Isaac Cappy, man, you want to go down another rabbit hole, check out Isaac Cappy. That guy was incredible, man. He was a movie star that was in Transformers. He ended up becoming a big-time whistleblower against Tom Hanks and Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
Big-time whistleblower. And
He's still alive?
Hell no.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
No, they got his ass. And he did a blog. He blogged his whole, once he came out and whistleblew, he did like weekly blogs for like hour long. He'd talk about, how he just basically ruined his life by like not cultivating his inner spirit, his communication with God. He got in touch with the bad people in Hollywood. And he just, because he knew he screwed up, he didn't say what he did. He wouldn't say what he did. He basically said he sold us out. We'll find out when he sold us out. But because he knew he did that to make up for it, he wanted to expose everybody. And I think it was like a couple days before he had gotten killed, he did a video and he talked about like, hey, I'm not suicidal. They're coming after me, but I'm just letting you guys. He knew, yeah. And that's where he said that quote. He's like, you guys got to pray more. You got to get closer to God. Cultivate that warmth in your heart. I didn't do that. Learn from me. And energy flows where focus goes, guys. That's Isaac Cappy all day. And he ended up getting killed about a week after that video. He knew he was about to get killed. He did.
Wow. How did he die?
They threw him over a bridge in Arizona.
How come I don't know about that? Arizona.
They kept this one under wraps. This is all during the lockdown. This is like right when the lockdowns hit. When he was a Q guy. When Q first hit, he was going through Q. And I was just into it because there was nothing else to do. We were locked down. We were locked in our freaking house. So I remember me and my ex-girlfriend at the time, we were just watching conspiracy stuff all day. And I gravitated towards Isaac Cappy because of the spiritual component of him. And just everything he said was true. I did the research. I mean, Tom Hanks, just YouTube him and what's the name of the video? He basically Sexy Baby Time. Tom Hanks' Sexy Baby Time, where he puts up his daughter in these like, what are those shows where they like dress up the babies really big time, like models and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
And he talks about having sexy baby time, and it's like, wow, Tom Hanks, man, Jesus. But that's Isaac Cappy. I mean, they got some freaking mind blowers today, huh, guys?
This is.
Maybe I won't be leaving after all.
Maybe you'll have to leave.
Maybe I'll get thrown off a bridge. Who knows?
No, don't. We're not going to let that happen. Not at all.
There's not really any bridges in New Mexico, really. I mean,
well, and all the, there's not a water in the river, so you'll be okay. There's a lot of sand in the desert. You'll probably be fine.
And I love Tom Hanks.
You're comfortable now.
Forrest Gump's awesome. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah. I love when he used to be on Saturday Night Live and yell.
He was great.
He's a great yeller.
I love Tom. Yeah, great yeller.
He's a great yeller. Absolutely.
Yeah, Woody from Buzz Lightyear and all that, man, and Toy Story.
That's right.
But yeah, Hollywood's weird. Apparently they're moving to China too. Did you guys hear about that? Hollywood's moving to China? I don't know.
Oh, well, there's probably a lot of influence. Maybe it's just be easier for them to do that.
Exactly. What else you got?
No.
I interrupted there. I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
that's fine. I'm just trying to look at my notes because I don't want to forget to mention this Thursday, if you live in the Las Cruces area or even in El Paso, CCIA, Coalition of Conservatives in Action, Juan Garcia, our good friend, is the chair, and Sarah Smith is now a vice chair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's part of the leadership team.
Man, that's awesome. Congratulations.
She's awesome. And this Thursday, they're going to have that movie, Letter to the American Church. So it's movie night, 6 o'clock, and we meet over at Kitchen Craft over on Telshore by Rudy's Barbecue. So if you'd like to come see a free movie, this is really good. I hadn't seen this movie yet. Have you seen it?
No.
And it's about what's happening within our American churches. I think Turning Point USA is the one. Either they produced it or they have some kind of reason for promoting it. But yeah, I want to invite you guys to come. and see it. Plus, there's a lot of great folks there that do that. We have good candidates. And I want to mention too, CCI does not endorse candidates, as you know. We don't endorse candidates because anybody can come.
Sarah Smith's a Democrat.
You don't have to be, Sarah's a Democrat. You don't have to be of a certain party. We're conservatives and we're interested in our local community. And speaking of that too, as far as our local community, this is an announcement, maybe you know or don't know about it, but we have a Facebook site, right? CCIA, Conservatives Coalition of Conservatives in Action, excuse me.
It's a mouthful.
And the same one, what they did is we've got a group now on that. So it's a group page. That way you can go in there and you can vent if you're more comfortable. You can post stuff yourself if you want. Just, try to join. You've got to have a couple of questions like, do you believe in freedom and stuff like that. But yeah, and we're getting quite a bit of traction in that. So, I just wanted to announce that as well. And I think today is a city council meeting. Is today?
They're going to miss me.
We record our show, although they're trying to make the comments go later, starting in April. And we're thinking, Juan says that didn't work last time. I wasn't here. Do you remember?
No, I've been involved. I've been involved in local politics in a while. I did my time. I've been involved since 2017. This will be the first break I've taken from politics in, 7 years?
Wow.
I did 7 years hard, guys.
Do you have anybody to take your place in the political scene?
No, I don't. I don't, unfortunately. It takes a lot of balls, It's like you got to not care. Just do the right thing. And not that I don't not care anymore. It's just that I'm moving on to another stage in my life where I feel like I did my time. I'm leaving Las Cruces. I'm moving out of Las Cruces, in case I mentioned that before. But I feel like I'm leaving on good terms with you guys. I think you guys are good. You're here now. Sarah Smith stepped up to leadership. I think we got a pretty good mayor. There's good momentum there. There's a lot of good stuff. We got Michael Caine coming in as district attorney. That'd be great to get him in.
We've got some good candidates.
Great candidates.
You're right about that.
So I did what I could. I pushed as far as you possibly could in local politics, and they definitely came after me. I had a lot of governmental and non-governmental organizations come after me directly, legally, and I pushed back, and I came out of there pretty much unscathed for the most part. It's something that you just can't be afraid of, because at the end of the day, this life is very short. I say all the time, this life is very short. There's a lot more going on beyond this realm that we can perceive with our eyes. There's a spiritual realm that is infinity, and that's the realm that I adhere to. I adhere to God.
That's a badge of honor for you, though, too. And you've talked a little bit about your story. We've got like our last 10 minutes, and if it's okay with you, I kind of like to just leave the audience with Zeke is a very impressive guy. You just see a little part of him, but we've become very good friends, my husband and I, with Zeke.
Best friends, really.
Yeah, really. And you have such a great knowledge of the political scene, even here locally, but as well as I think of the entire state. And that's where I've always leaned heavily on you, because I'm still. I'll use the word newcomer, right? That's a new left term for the illegals, but I'm not illegal. I've been here now, been back almost 2 years. It'll be almost 2 years in May. But my Zeke is always a great source. When I don't know someone or about something, you're the first person that I call. And I'll try not to do it as much because I know you're going to be busy, but at least you've been good about introducing me to people and sources that I can do. Because, being very active in Arizona, I'm still learning New Mexico.
Yeah, that's super impressive. I love that we got to connect and on this level and get to do all this, because Alice has had experience in a county where there's 4 million people, and I say it all the time, but I mean that
4.5.
To me, that's insane. And that type of experience to bring that here to New Mexico, it's gonna speak volumes. Now, you did just get here. It's been about a year now, right? A little over a year.
I've been active in politics here a little bit over a year, and we've been back in May. It'll be 2 years.
2 years, yeah, just 2 years. So she's just kind of getting that momentum. It took me about 2 years to really pick up momentum for politics here, 2-3 years, and then once you get it and everybody knows you know what you're doing, then you're gonna just you'll be leading stuff, you'll be running for office, and that's what I hope. That's what I hope is next for you.
Done that.
You deserve it. We need you. You're a real person. But yeah, I mean, for me, what do you want me to go over?
Well, I kind of would like for you to give words of wisdom, especially to your generation and the millennials, because as I said, I was talking to Haley and Joey, that we've got to make more inroads in getting the younger people interested and engaged and active in politics. Even though I understand, because I was once your age too, and you get busy, you're trying to raise your family, you're making a living, and now it's even harder, more difficult with the Biden inflation. But you still need to be engaged, because our country is at stake. Your lifestyle, your everything's at stake. So I want you to impart some words of wisdom that you can maybe give some hints or some ways to get involved, or
Yeah, well, you got to get involved, and you got to push yourself to limits that you didn't even know were possible. And this is the same type of talk that any kind of like, and I'm not a multimillionaire, I'm not like ultra successful by like YouTube standards like that, but it's the same story. It's the same story. You got to get to a point where you can push yourself way beyond your own capabilities. And if you think about the founding of this country and how we all came about in this free world that we take for granted largely, is that we're the underdogs. We are designed as human beings to be the underdogs. We're not supposed to have everything given to us. We're supposed to go through extremely difficult stuff and persevere. That's how you grow spiritually. That's how you grow physically. And when you want to get involved with local politics, which I highly recommend, forget about state politics, forget about national politics. Focus on local politics. That's where the true power is.
And would you say it's easier to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
And it's easier. It's harder, but it's easier, because it's easier in that it's just your neighbor. Literally, we were neighbors still.
Yeah, that's true.
We're literally,
That's
and we
true.
can just have dinner with each other at dinner the other night. We can exchange ideas and communicate with other people. So the real power is local politics. And then the main thing is that we're always the underdogs. Don't be afraid to push yourself even harder. Everybody's gotten to this like instant coffee, take it easy, get home and relax as soon as possible. Like, that's not how this country was founded, guys. This country was founded by crazy dudes who wanted to be free, that freaking sailed across a freaking ocean and wagoned into these freaking territories that were ran by savages. I'm sorry, I mean, natives, most of them were, they're all warlike, crazy people who killed a lot of pilgrims, and
a lot of them younger. Very
yeah.
young people.
Young people, 15, 14-year-old dudes, coming on over here. So just push yourself harder, and that's going to make you stronger and better as a person. Don't be afraid to work. Okay, I went to school, I went to work full time my whole life. I've always pushed myself to the maximum limit. So if you're younger right now, you're listening, even if you're older, like, dude, push yourself. Don't be afraid, because you're going to gain so much more when you get out the other end. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yeah, it's going to suck. But the fruits of your labor are so great, especially when it's local politics. Like, I'm so honored to had befriended Alice and all the things that she's doing for our community, and my ability to plug her right in with the sacrifice that I made. And that's just me. It's just one person. Now she's going to pass that on, and she's going to be able to share that with the next person and the next person, and they're going to have their own community. Before you know it, the city's on the right track already with the work that we've been doing with the CCIA and the local Republicans. So just push yourself to the limit. There's no other way, guys. There's no other way around it. It's either you get involved now, push yourself now, or they're going to take it from you. Like they did in New York. That's one thing we talk about. The New York's, police state in New York. You can't even get on the subway system
subway.
anymore.
Wow. Macy's is closing down too.
Macy's closing down.
They're closing down.
And it's like, Michelle Grisham's one pencil whip away from doing the same thing to us, guys. So it's either get together now, try to get close to God now, or do it later when you're in the gulag. I choose outside the gulag.
And I know that you have a military background too. You were in the Air Force.
Yeah.
Which salute to that.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's hard in today's world because I don't have a lot of trust in leadership.
Right.
But I don't want to discourage any young men and women who are thinking about trying to join our military, because we need a strong national defense. And I think there's still enough good people in there, so we want to have faith in that. But how would you advise someone if someone came to you today and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm thinking about joining up." What would you tell them?
I would say do it. I'm still a very strong proponent of joining the military, active duty. That's what I did. I joined when I was 17. My parents had to sign up for me.
17, wow.
I was 17 years old. Everybody thought I was a freaking baby. They couldn't believe I was in the military. I looked so young. I was like a kid in there, It's crazy. But
we need to post a picture of you that year.
Yeah, I look goofy as hell. I was only like wearing a $148, $150. I was a little stick. I'm 200 pounds now, but approximately.
Yeah, you're tall. Yeah, so
about 6 foot.
You were scrawny, huh?
I was a scrawny little dude. But join the military. Keep your political ideology to yourself. Go through the motions of whatever it is they're going to go through. But in your head and in your heart, stay close to God. Stay close to serving this country, because you can still navigate through what you're going through. Because from what I understand, it's only the top brass that are into this other agenda that's not that favorable to the freedom of America and we the people. But there are a lot of people in the enlisted and the officer corps ranks that are still pro-America, and they need your help. I everything I have, I owe to me joining the military. So I'll always push joining the United States military because my uncles taught me to join, and it helped them tremendously. And I listened to them, and now it helped me. So
That's awesome.
I don't think it's something that you can run away. I think you should join the military still. I would never discourage anybody. Now, white dudes are enlisting at the least amount rate of all, and that used to be the bulk of the military because you go into the military and they teach you to hate white people. But again, don't let that discourage you because that's a temporary thing. You know, we get Trump in there, and we turn things around very quickly. That will be gone. But yeah, I'd say join the military still. I hate to admit it, but I think there's still a chance for people who have the right intentions to serve properly and to get your job bill, get your free college, and to do the right thing for the country.
I'm glad you said that. I think it is still very important to do that because we need a strong force. I mean, defense, and then let's hope we are going to have a great commander-in-chief in the next term. Yeah, so he's
going to win. They're already presupposing he's going to win. The opposite side, they're like, well, once he gets in there, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Oh, I heard this. Have you heard this slogan? Somebody commented, probably was on Facebook or something. Let's make it too big to rig. In other words, get the voting force out there and do that, and that's why get engaged.
Yeah.
And don't forget.
Conservatism is wildly popular right now. I mean, it's all over social media. It's all over the regular media. I mean, it's like never been a better time to be a conservative in this country, in this world today. I mean, it's worldwide. It's not just America. Conservatism is it right now. That is trending. That is what's hot. Is being into freedom, being pro-human, being into God, being into togetherness, not being racist, not being sexist, not being classist, looking at each other as human freaking beings. That is what's hot right now.
I like that, pro-human being.
That's right.
That's really good.
That's the truth. That's what you got to look for. It's not red versus blue. It's not he versus her. It's not any of that. It's we're all in this together. We're all human beings, and we got to get rid of that. You know, I said this earlier on my last show. This like, there's nowhere in the Declaration of Independence to talk about black and white, or to talk about who's rich, who's poor. Nowhere in the Bible does it say any of that either. You know, because that's not how we're supposed to look at each other as human beings, not as anything else.
Absolutely. I'm going to miss you, but I know you're going to hook in, and we'll still be in touch.
Yeah, I'll still.
So if there's anything really exciting that happens in his life, I will tell you. I will tell you. If I have permission.
Just don't tell him where I'm at.
No, that's still kind of a secret.
Honestly, if things work out, it's going to be huge. You guys are going to see me all over the place. But we'll see.
I think this is a great opportunity, and I just want to put our audience, our followers at ease. This is a really good thing for you to be doing. It's going to be growth for you. You know, you're still a very young man, and I think it's an opportunity he cannot pass up.
No.
You know, even though he loves us.
I do love you guys.
He cannot pass it up.
And I'm going to miss doing this. I really enjoy doing this. I'm so proud of the audience. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Keep supporting Alice. She's amazing. She does so much for the community. She's a servant of God. I'll always love and respect her and her husband, Mark. All their support's been tremendous. Joey, Haley, they're incredible people too. Support these people. Let's keep supporting this channel, supporting the community. I see good things for Las Cruces. I've never thought that I would be saying that. You know, a year ago today, I'd be like, no way. But after hanging out with Alice and seeing all the positive momentum, getting in this awesome studio with Joey Cypher has given me a lot of hope for this community. So I feel like I'm leaving on really good terms. And I'll be looking forward to popping in here and there. And I'm going to keep fighting for humanity. Trust me, I'm just doing it in a different way.
Helping humanity, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So that's great. I'm glad that you shared all that with us. And I would love for you to take us out in prayer. And I do want to thank our chipsters. Next week, as I said, we'll be having Ronnie Cisneros. He's running for New Mexico State House, District 37, and that's what actually you ran. That's how I met you.
I did run for District 37.
And you know what? You did all right there. You really did all right.
That was a damn fun race. Honestly, I had a great time. I had a good time. I worked my ass off. I walked 3,500 houses by myself. I wore out some shoes, baby.
Wow.
But man, I learned so much. I know this community like the back of my freaking hand now. I mean, door to door, I know who lives who, what they believe in, what they want, who they are. 90% of people all want a better future.
It's a good district too.
Safer schools. They want safer streets. They want a better economy. We have so much in common. That's one thing I learned is we have so much in common. The media wants us to think that we don't, but we do, guys. We do.
You're right. You said it right there. That's key. The media wants you to think something else. So
it's not.
I'm Alice Lara, and I'm going to let Zeke Rodriguez, I've got this as our episode number 23. It might be 24. I might have that
23, 24.
Take us out in prayer.
20-something. Sure. Lord, thank you so much for bringing us here today and for giving this show the platform that it has and getting us the ability to spread your message, Lord, and to spread the message of togetherness and positivity for the community, for the state, for the country, Lord. I pray that you continue to give that energy and that love to Alice and to the team here at the studio and to those in the community that are pro-human and are pro-God. Please give them the energy and the wisdom to do the right thing and guide them, Lord, as we navigate through this tumultuous world that we're about to embark on, this crazy path that we have to go through to get closer to you, Lord. Thank you for everything, Lord, all the blessings that you've given us. It's a true honor, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen to that. Thanks again, my brother.
Thank you, Alice.
All right, take care.
Later, guys.
Night.
Thank you, guys.